Hi guys, it's Holly here at Faces and welcome to episode 8 of the Face It podcast. Today I am here with the lovely Danielle Dale from Kysense and Wow Facial. Danielle is a sales and marketing manager for both companies, and I'm so happy that you're on here today, Dan, to have a chat with me because we've got quite a few things to cover. And if you are a Faces user, you may have noticed we've done some promotion for Kysense, which is a new dermal filler, which Dan will obviously talk about as well. So yeah, Dan, welcome and thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So obviously we met, I think, was it about a year ago or last September, I think? Professional Beauty, I think, in Manchester we met. And I was kind of drawn in by your branding for Kysense purely because it's so simple and it was just so different to anything I'd ever seen before. And obviously we can go sort of into that as the conversation goes on. But do you want to just sort of tell us about kind of Wow Facial, Kysense, how you've got to where you are now, and just a bit about the businesses?
Yeah, of course. So Kysense, it's an HA dermal filler that a team of experienced dermatologists, plastic surgeons, scientists, all got together, and they're all recognised for their contributions to market leader HA dermal fillers. So they all got together and they wanted to create a filler that was safe, premium, and just as good as the market leaders. So they wanted to provide something that was supple and flexible, and with a low degree of modification, so to ensure proper tissue distribution and integration, and the ability to move with the surrounding tissues as well. So the BDD in Kysense is the lowest on the market, so it's undetectable as well. So
what does that actually mean, just for anyone who doesn't know?
So we've got manufacturing process which is called HA Protect, and that basically removes the destructive oxygen in the manufacturing process, including the cross-linking stage. So this just means that the HA chains are more protected and preserved.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is that something that's usually sort of a risk with dermal filler, would you say?
It's not necessarily a risk, no, but it's good to have
good to have it for the protection. Okay,
yeah.
cool.
They wanted to create a filler that gave natural results, but also at the same time be high volumizing, with a good projection power and high viscosity. So yeah, that's how Kysense was formed. And
Amazing. And how are you, so in your second year now of being launched, is that right?
yeah, we started it was towards the end of May 2020 that we launched it. So yeah.
Amazing. I think when it comes to dermal filler, practitioners, sorry, are always trying to try different ones, find a new dermal filler to suit them and also their clients. And I think a lot of the time I'll see on like Facebook forums someone saying, oh, don't use this dermal filler, it's not good. But
Yeah.
my advice to a practitioner would be it can depend on the client that you've injected it in. It can also depend on the injector as well, and just personal preference as well. So with regards to Kysense, how does it compare to other premium brands, and sort of why should someone purchase it over a different premium filler brand?
So with Kysense, the 20 to 30% less product is needed to compared to other leading fillers on the market. So you get high patient satisfaction. There's no lidocaine in Kysense. So I think sometimes this can be a little off-putting for practitioners, but no lidocaine means minimal swelling, minimized bruising. You would get alerted more quickly to VOs, vascular conditions, and deeper work and cannula work doesn't require lidocaine. Right. But for the lips, we would say you would still need to use a numbing cream. But
okay,
yeah,
no problem. So is there sort of there's like a fine, there's a deep, sub-Q type dermal filler within the Kysense brand?
Yeah, so we've got 4 fillers in the range, which all can be used for full face rejuvenation. So we have Precise, which is used for superficial lines and wrinkles, dermis, and lips, and tear trough. So
Okay.
we've been working with Dr. Uche, who's doing some tear trough masterclasses for us, and he loves Kysense Precise.
Yeah,
Then
I
we've got
think sorry to interrupt you. I think to get Dr. Uche, who is like the tear trough master and tear trough king, to use Kysense, I think that is probably the best indication to any practitioner that this dermal filler is something that they should at least try or should be using, because I mean, I follow him on Instagram and he's great and his work is absolutely amazing. And I think when it comes to the tear trough area, obviously it's such a complex area to treat, isn't it? And such a delicate area that can very, very easily go wrong. But the fact that he has sort of opted to use that dermal filler over things like Teosal, that's just amazing. So yeah, it's great.
Brilliant. I mean, having someone with such in-depth knowledge is amazing to have him on board. So yeah, and obviously using Kysense. But yeah, so back to the others in the range, we've got Kysense Define, which you would use for deep dermis, lip augmentation, deeper lines and wrinkles, and deep skin depressions. We then have Kysense Volume, which again could be used for deep skin depressions, volume in cheeks, chin, jaw, and temples. And then our last one is Kysense Extreme, which is used to restore volume in cheeks, chin, jaw, temples, and piriform fossa as well. So yeah, so the whole range means that you've global approach to facial rejuvenation.
Amazing. No, I love the packaging. I love kind of the science behind the dermal filler as well. With regards to Dr. Uche then, sorry, just going back to him. Obviously he's been running the tear trough masterclasses, hasn't he? So if somebody was interested in that, how would they get onto those masterclasses?
You can do that on our website on www.kysense.com. So you will need to register and enter your medical PIN on there. And then once we've verified you, you'll get access to the site. And then on there, you can book the courses. So all Kysense customers get access to all Dr. Uche's online training courses as well, which is a real good selling point. There's a few modules on there that you can do for free. So the feedback that we've been getting from the delegates has been really good. So, and it's nice as well to work with knowledgeable practitioners.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, anybody interested, particularly if you're looking for a free masterclass by a tear trough practitioner who's just amazing, like, go ahead and do that. Do you think, obviously, because there will be a lot of people listening who are not a medical professional, but they are obviously a qualified and insured practitioner, do you think there could be any scope for Kysense to sort of develop into that side of things, whereby it be a dermal filler brand open to any practitioner?
Unfortunately, due to our manufacturer's insurance, we can't sell to anyone who's not a medical professional, which is why we have to have such a tight hold on the supply chain. But it's not a case of us not wanting to work with non-medics. I mean, we do work with so many amazing therapists, level 3 and above, with Wow, who do Wow Facial. So yeah, I mean, we love our practitioners. So it's not that we don't want to work with them, it's just due to our manufacturer's insurance.
Fair enough. It is a shame because, you know, obviously it does just limit obviously the people who can try it, and obviously the feedback I've heard from medical professionals is amazing. But you know, with faces, obviously we have access for everybody, whether they're medic or non-medic, and you know, there's so many amazing practitioners out there who have been doing it for sort of 10-15 years, even less, who don't have a medical qualification, but it's just good to understand kind of if that would be something available eventually, but you never know what can happen, do you? So, and do you think there would be sort of any scope for developing into like a skin booster or any other type of products at the moment?
We're not going to be launching anything else in the Kysense range, but in our other brand, we've got dermology. So we've got a high regarding and award-winning Synergy 6, which is an SPF 50 and moisturizer as well. And we're set to launch a full range of skincare that will sit underneath Synergy 6.
Yeah.
So that the skincare range will be working to protect the skin barrier while improving skin health. But so no injectables. I mean, we do have Wow Fusion, the needling device, and we've got a range of serums in the device which are hyper personalized to the patient's individual skincare requirements. So in terms of skin boosters as such, no, but we have got stuff to improve the skin.
Amazing. Yeah, because I think quite a running theme that I've had from these podcasts is how the industry has very much developed. So, people are wanting to look more rejuvenated, looking after their skin more. And I wish when I was a teenager, there was more knowledge about skincare and things like that, because it's something I love now and I'm passionate about. But, I would have started using good skincare at the age of 10 if I could have done,
No, I think now skincare is becoming much more out there and people really starting to take care, aren't they? And I think as well, a lot of celebrities are having their fillers dissolved and going for more natural looks, aren't they? So
yeah, it's all just trends, isn't it? I think. But I think the trend that I mean, obviously there's hundreds of trends and thousands of trends out at the moment, but I think when it comes to aesthetics, I really love how it currently is in terms of, the people wanting to be a bit more balanced in the face, tighter skin, looking more plump, just looking healthier, I think, rather than 10 years ago it was like who's got the biggest lips possible, and that's what people wanted.
Yeah, and I think as well, injectable moisturizers like Profilo, I think they will still have a good stronghold on the industry, especially now people are trying to take care of the skin. So
yeah, 100%. I think, skin boosters are just crazy at the moment. Like everybody's buying them, everybody's learning, injecting them, and I think they're great as well. I think it does just offer that kind of treatment for somebody who doesn't want dermal filler, so doesn't want to enhance kind of an area of the face. I think a lot of people maybe don't want to get Botox, so it just offers that kind of middle ground between the two, where they might want to try an injectable treatment but nothing too obvious or too kind of evasive as well.
Yeah,
I feel like when it comes to Kysense, it seems like quite a timeless brand. So even though we've just talked about kind of the evolution of treatments and how that's developed, I feel like with Kysense, you've got your 4 staple dermal fillers, and that can kind of cover whatever trends sort of come into play as well, which I think is really great.
With us having a full range for the full face, definitely, and different viscosities, yeah.
Amazing. With regards to sort of where the company's going to be going in the next year, obviously, just like any startup or any brand, you're going to be having your sort of goals in terms of what you're wanting to achieve. Where do you sort of want to be this time next year, would you say, as a company?
Well, we've just opened Circus Skin in America, in South America.
Oh, wow, amazing.
So that's just launched. So I think by this time next year, that should fully be up and running. And we're just getting going now. Kysense is already CE marked, but we're currently going through the process of obtaining CE marking and FDA approval on the Wow Fusion device.
Okay, amazing.
So this time next year, hopefully that will all be in place. But yeah, all things are looking good for the future.
Oh, amazing. And then is Kysense going to be over in America as well?
Yeah, both Kysense and
so everything.
Yeah, so Kysense is already in a few other countries as well. So
yeah. Oh, fantastic. I'm so excited to see sort of the growth of the brands, and hear more and more about people using the dermal filler. And I think there are still a lot of practitioners who are very much kind of, they'll use Juvederm or they'll use nothing else, and I think this is a really nice alternative for those people. And I've actually been recommending it to practitioners who kind of do just want to stick to their Juvederm. I think they are quite few and far between nowadays, but any practitioner who says that to me, I do recommend Kysense, because even though I'm not a practitioner myself and I'm not a medical professional, I massively kind of believe that it is a good product. Would you say you have quite a good conversion rate when it comes to kind of your Juvederm lovers and then them kind of moving over to Kysense? Is it something that happens quite regularly?
It does. I think to start with, obviously people who use a different filler and they've used it for quite a while, it can take some time to change over, or even want to try another filler. But I think as word of mouth's getting out and more people are trying Kysense, I think we're really starting to take off now. I think we are getting a lot of conversions now, especially with the Dr. Uche masterclasses, and then we are doing some other masterclasses with Dr. Helen and Dr. Waz, so the Elevate to Expert, and that's basically, we have 4 modules in those masterclasses, so for each area of the face. And I think we've been doing those over a year now, and as more and more people are doing the masterclasses, obviously word gets out and more people are wanting to either join the masterclass or just join Kysense. But if we are offering free boxes of Kysense Precise as well on the website, if you register.
I was gonna mention that, actually. So anyone out there, guys, if you want to try Kysense and see how amazing it is, see what it's all about, you can go to, is it kysense.com? Sorry, Dan.
Kysense.com, and you can get a free box of Precise, and in each box of all the range of fillers you get 4 1ml vials in there.
Amazing. So plenty for you to try out, and I think that's great, because it shows that you guys really believe in what you do. The fact that you're happy to give it out for free, you're confident that people are going to love it, and then they're going to want to purchase it after that, which I think is amazing. With regards to kind of moving on to a completely different topic, with regards to regulation, sort of what are your thoughts on that when it comes to what sort of could be coming into play? Because obviously you guys are a medic only brand. Like you said, it's not because you necessarily have those opinions, it's more just to do the manufacturer. But what are you sort of thinking in terms of regulation, and what you think should be happening?
Well, I think there's been this talk of regulation for years now, and nothing does come into place. But I think the most important thing to me is that patient safety is the first thing. So I think as long as practitioners are practicing safely, I'm not sure anything will happen. But in terms of us being regulated, I mean, we've got a CMAP product. We're currently going through the transition from MDD, which is a medical device directive, to MDR, which is a medical device regulation. So, and we also have a regulatory and quality manager as well in-house. So she's ensuring that us as a company are regulated at all times. So yeah.
Amazing. No, I completely agree. I think when it comes to regulation, for me personally, I think that as long as the correct training, the correct insurance, client safety, as you say, using licensed products, as long as all of those things are happening, doesn't mean a nurse is going to be a better injector than somebody who's been doing aesthetics for 10 years, who isn't a medical professional. And I think it is a shame that there is this kind of divide in the industry. However, I do think that if regulation does come in at some stage, I think it will be a positive thing, just to give everyone some clarity, and obviously to safeguard patients, and that is the main thing. And here at Faces, obviously that's what we really stand for, safeguarding and ensuring that practitioners are promoting best practice as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think as long as practitioners have got a good knowledge of facial anatomy and are able to spot issues when they do come in, if they're not a medic, they've got someone who they can contact. I think that's the most important thing. But if regulation does come in, then hopefully everyone's safe. And
yeah,
so.
exactly. And I think it's crazy how aesthetics in the industry has grown over the last 10 years, and it's quite scary to think where it's going to be in the next 10 years. But I think, I think there's so much more knowledge on how to be safe, on even clients knowing what's right and wrong as well, because they see so much on social media. I think clients' knowledge is becoming a lot more, they're becoming a lot more aware as to how a practitioner should be doing things, even down to kind of products and prescriptions and everything else. So yeah, I'm hoping that it will just continue kind of growing in that way, and just being a positive space as well. Because aesthetics is here to make us feel and look good, and I feel like it should be a lot more positive within the industry alongside that.
I agree.
Perfect. Well, guys, if you want to purchase any of the Kysense products, you can go to www.kysense.com. You can obviously get a free box of Kysense Precise as well if you do sign up. You'll obviously get access to all of the trainings as well, so amazing. And if you are looking for more information on the products, you can contact Dan, and we'll put her contact details below. So yeah, thank you very much everybody for tuning in today, and thank you so much, Dan, for joining me on the podcast. It's been really great to speak, and hopefully this time next year we can have another conversation and we can hear about how the company has grown worldwide even more. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
No worries. All right, thanks guys, take care.